You're listening to the My Simplified Life podcast, and this is episode number 29. Welcome to the My Simplified Life podcast, a place where you will learn that your past and even your present don't define your future. Regardless of what stage of life you're in, I want you to feel inspired and encouraged to pursue your dreams, simplify your life, and start taking action today. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and I'm excited to share my stories and life lessons with you while taking you on my own journey. This is My Simplified Life. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Michelle Glogovac, and today we are talking about expectations. We all have them, whether we like it or not, and all too often, because we have expectations, we tend to get let down when others don't meet them. Listen, I know that no matter what you say, you have them. I have them. We all have expectations, and when it comes to your expectations from others, once you've launched a business, I'm going to tell you that you need to lower them. If not, just get rid of them altogether. I'm talking about your expectations of friends and family members, and I'm going to share with you why you shouldn't have expectations of these people in your business, quite frankly, at all. Okay, you've launched your business, and you are on cloud 9 with excitement. You announce it to the world on Instagram and Facebook, and you've got your website up. An hour or two goes by, a day goes by, a week goes by, but you aren't getting the enthusiasm from your family members or friends that you thought you would. Why aren't they jumping on board to check out your website or what services you're offering? Why aren't they liking your post as if it's the best thing since sliced bread and apple pie? Now you feel defeated and deflated. You start to lose your excitement, and maybe you're even starting to doubt yourself. But I'm going to tell you that you need to turn that frown upside down, because you shouldn't be worried about whether Aunt Sally or Kim from high school like what your business venture is or what services you're now offering. And here's why. They are not your ideal client. You did not start your business to impress Aunt Sally. You didn't work hard at launching your business, brand, and offering so that Kim from high school will become your client. Okay, maybe there's an off chance that Kim fits your ideal client, but for this episode, we're going to make Kim someone who doesn't fit the mold of your client at all. So if these people aren't your ideal client and not the individuals you are marketing to and trying to sell your services to, then why are you expecting so much from them? You aren't creating content for them. They don't need your services or products. Therefore, you need to change your expectations. Get rid of the expectations in this case because they aren't going to serve you at all. Now, I'll be the first to admit that this isn't as easy as I'm making it sound, and it takes time to adjust your mindset. But once you release these expectations, it's freaking freeing and amazing. Let's tackle the whole idea and concept about your ideal audience and client. When you decided to offer your service, it's for a specific type of person. You are creating content and offering your services for your ideal client. Now hold up, what is an ideal client? Now this is an exercise that you should have done before launching, but it's always a great time to revisit who your ideal client is and what that looks like, because as your business evolves, your ideal client definition is also going to evolve. You should sit down and think about who it is that you want to work with and serve, and get specific. Give your client a name, her hair color, what's her age, what is she needing help for, and what's the help that you can provide to her that is going to solve everything. Let's do this exercise together, and we'll use me as an example, because truth time, I struggled with having expectations of family and friends in the beginning. I wanted them to like my posts, like my business page, just acknowledge what I was doing. And you know what that did? It let me down because I expected more out of them than I should have. And yet they weren't my ideal client. My ideal client I named Karen. She's around 35 and she's done the corporate career thing. She's a mom and she's launched her own business. She's got life and career experience and is tackling the world in a unique way. She has a compelling story that is inspiring and makes others not just think, but motivates them to do something more for themselves. She wants more people to hear what she has to say, but she's so good at what she does that she doesn't have time to find outlets that will interview her. Karen finds me. I can save Karen time in that she doesn't have to find the media outlets or podcasts that are a good fit for her. I am able to craft a unique pitch that makes Karen stand out and showcase what she brings to the table. I also strategize with Karen to what her message is and what she wants to be known for, and if that's what she's actually portraying to the world right now when it comes to her branding and social media. I'm connecting Karen with podcast hosts that are going to share with their audience who Karen is, which in turn is growing Karen's audience and ultimately growing her brand, her business, and positioning her as the expert in her field. All Karen has to do is show up and do the interviews, and yet she's gotten exposure that saved her time and ultimately money because she was able to continue her business as usual without researching podcasts and pitching herself. Now that I've identified who my ideal client is, I'm going to create content for this person. I'm going to think about Karen every time I create a new podcast episode or think about who I want to interview on my podcast. I'm going to think about the type of checklist that Karen might need or the type of Instagram post that would resonate with Karen as she scrolls through her feed every day. I want to attract Karen to work with me, and this is what I need to keep in the back and front of my mind at all times. Now let's circle back to your family and friends. They aren't Karen, are they? You aren't creating content or an entire business in the hopes that they are going to use your services or find a benefit in them. Therefore, why are you putting so much of your expectations into these people getting excited about what you're doing? I ask you that question, but I do think it's important that you have support in your business. I've talked about the importance of a tribe and the 5 people you need to have in your life when you have a business of your own, and your spouse or partner is definitely one of them. You want and need your partner's support in this business because it's going to be really hard to run a business that your partner sees no value in. But to me, being supportive is very different from hoping for likes and comments on a post or reviews for your podcast. My husband is so supportive of my business and what I do, and honestly, I couldn't put in the time and effort it takes to not only make my business successful, but to create the content if he didn't believe that what I was doing had merit. I say this because you live with your partner. You need the support of this individual. Otherwise, you are going to deal with more stress and worry and a whole host of other emotions. I wanted to make sure I differentiate between the support of a partner and the excitement over your business from random family members or friends. When I decided to launch my podcast, I told a few people, and one of them was my brother. His initial response was, "What do you have to talk about that other people want to hear?" Ouch. I brushed him off as any good big sister would, and I recognized that my podcast is not for my little brother. He's not Karen. I launched my podcast and some ratings and reviews came in quite quickly. And can I tell you how floored I was when I recognized that one came from my brother and that it was a genuinely awesome review. I was so grateful and happy. And do you want to know why it meant so damn much to me? Because I didn't expect it. I didn't expect my family members or friends to listen or more so, take the time to leave a review. And yet he did. When you drop your expectations of others and then you have someone who does something like leave a great review on your podcast, do you see how much more exciting that is? How much more grateful you will be of their support. And best of all, since you didn't expect it, you didn't have a chance to be bummed if there was no review or support. You were doing what you're meant to be doing and for the audience it was meant for. I totally get that this mindset shift isn't going to happen overnight and might take a bit of time, but you are going to feel such a weight lifted off your shoulders and you're going to be able to enjoy your family and friends as you're meant to, as your family and friends. I guess this could be considered separating business from pleasure. It also reminds me of some companies that you want to sign others up below you. And so suddenly Aunt Sally comes to you wanting to buy into whatever she's selling. And now you just want to avoid her at all costs when you see her at family functions. Don't be Aunt Sally. Listen, I used to sell jet fuel, and never once did I expect my little brother or big sister or a cousin to say, "Hey, I'd like to buy a gallon of jet fuel." No, none of them have corporate jets. Therefore, they weren't my ideal client. The same goes for when you own your own business. It doesn't matter if you have a corporate career or are an entrepreneur. It's the same when it comes to your expectations of who is going to be your ideal client and who isn't. So don't think that since you now own a business, your family or friends should suddenly be buying from you or getting as gung-ho over it as you are. By getting rid of these expectations, you're also ensuring that you don't harbor resentment when your expectations aren't met. You're preserving relationships and friendships. You're going to feel lighter, happier, and are going to be able to enjoy your business and your relationships separately in the way that they were meant to be enjoyed. If this is something you've been struggling with, then this week I want you to practice removing your expectations. Create an Instagram post or a blog post and think only of your ideal client. Post it and get excited when Karen hits like and adds a comment. But don't worry if Aunt Sally doesn't hit the like button, unless you posted one of her recipes. Allow your friends and family to be just that, your friends and family, and remember who you are serving in your business, who your ideal client is, and who you really want your content to resonate with and speak to. You're not only going to relieve yourself and others of unnecessary pressure, but your content might even be better than before because you truly understand who you are doing this for. Have you set expectations for others in your business? I want to hear if you're struggling with this or if you've overcome it and what it's done, not just for your business, but in your life and for yourself. Send me a DM over on the gram and let me know. I want to hear how letting go of your expectations of others is helping you. And don't forget that even if you've had these expectations in the past or right now, you get to define your future and whether you have expectations going forward. Until next time, my friends, stay safe and healthy.